Hey, this is Adam with the Adam Wines Guitar Academy. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the bridge. In my opinion, I believe that this is the hardest riff in the song in terms of rhythm guitar, but it's also the most fun. But first, here's a short of me playing it so you can have it fresh in your mind. Okay, so let's break this down. So we're coming from the chorus, if you recall, which was this. Which was basically in the tonal center of A. So anyway, coming out of that, we're going to now come into the bridge. The first riff, or first measure of the riff, is going to go like this. Like that. Now, interestingly, when I was younger, I thought the riff did this. That's how I used to play it. I used to really think that's how it went. All like chromatic like that, but it's not quite like that, which you'll see. So it starts with E5, 7th fret on the A, 9th fret on the D, and then it comes to E flat 5 or D sharp 5, 6th fret on the A, 8th fret on the D string, and then it comes to a D5, the 5th fret on the A string, and the 7th fret on the D string. And then it hits a 6th fret here on the low E string, and we palm mute it. And we also do it with the middle finger. Then it's going to hit a very fun chord. This is a C5, but it has the 5th, which is a G, below the root and also above the root, which creates an incredibly massive sound. It's actually a really good trick to make standard tuning sound extremely heavy. So these are super fun. As you can see, that sounds absolutely massive. So note-wise, we have a G, a C, and a G. So I'm barring my first finger on the 3rd fret of the E and the A string, and then my pinky is grabbing that 5th fret on the D string. So it's a normal power chord on A and D, but that low 3rd fret there, that extra 5th down there, is what's making it sound so interesting. Now, after you hit that, you hit a 4th fret on the low E or an A flat or G sharp with a palm mute, and then a B5, and it's also that massive shape with the extra 5th down there. So it's barring that 2nd fret on the E and the A, and then the 4th fret here with the pinky on the D string. Now, music theory-wise, we basically have a chromatic chord. So we have an E5. We would expect that in E minor. And it hits an E flat or a D sharp. It's a passing chromatic tone, or chord, excuse me. And then it comes to D5. Nothing weird about a D5 in E minor. That's expected to be there. Then it hits the B flat, which is that tritone in the context of E. So we've seen this tritone pop up a bunch. Then we hit that C5 chord, but it has the extra G down there, but it's still functioning as a C5, and that would be expected in E minor. And then it's hitting this A flat there on the low E, or the G sharp, however you want to think of that. And that's another chromatic tone that's not that wouldn't normally be there. And the movement here, and also here, kind of has a minor 3rd thing happening there, which is a very heavy sound. So, and then we have that B5. Even though it's the heavier version, it's still functioning as a B5, and that is expected in E minor. And the G there, and I do not palm mute the G. But anyway, so that is what's going on there music theory-wise. Now, after that, we come to the next measure. This measure is not confusing music theory-wise. It's just E's, just a pedal on an E and then a D and a G note played together as a chord, which is the interval of a 4th. Nothing too strange there. It's just the interval of a 4th, and both of those notes come from E minor. So nothing weird there. It's just a interesting sound, basically, over the E pedal. So rhythmically, though, on that particular riff, it's simply 1 E and 2 E and 3 E So pretty simple rhythmically. It's just fast. And then on the chords there on the interval of the fourth, those are lasting for an eighth note. So that's twice as long as a 16th note. So you hit really hard on those chords and you let them sit for a second. Okay? So rhythmically speaking, if we put these two riffs together, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and so on 2 and 4, you kind of hang there for a second and then you hit the and at the end with the 16 notes there. Now the picking of the first part is just all down pick. You can just down pick all of that. Now for the next measure, what I recommend doing is down, up to start. And then down on the chord, which really emphasizes it. You can really punch that chord. And then I'm going to do another down, up, even though I just did a down. Because we also pause for a second, so it gives you a second for your hand to kind of reset and come back for a down pick. So once again, down, up, down, pause for a second, down, up. And then down, up, and down again. Pause for a second, down, up. So picking wise, it's not too bad, but it does take some focus and you do want to practice. So real slow, 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So this whole riff, these two measures, basically get played 3 times. So nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and all right. Now we come into the next part of the bridge, which is really fast and really fun, a bunch of 16th notes. And it's very similar in rhythm. It's almost exactly, or it is exactly the same rhythm as the riff with all the 16th notes. It's just now using different chords and coming down. So basically, if we sit for a second and just look at the chords and forget the rhythm for a second, we really have a C5 chord coming to a B5, coming to a B flat, coming to an A, jumping down to an F5 chord, jumping to a G chord, jumping to a B flat chord, and then it's going to go back into the other riff. Now, music theory wise, the C5 is within the key, so nothing weird there. Same with B5, nothing strange there. But then we get the B flat. And we can think of this as chromatic or the tritone. We're emphasizing the tritone, so super fun, super interesting, very heavy. Then we hit an A5 chord, nothing strange there. Then we hit an F5. This is weird. This is weird in the context of E minor. It almost kind of gives me the impression of E Phrygian. And E Phrygian is simply E played in the context of, the easiest way to think about it, in my opinion, is kind of you're thinking of the key of C major, but you're starting and ending on E. So typically a C scale sounds like this. So E Phrygian would be the same scale, but start on E. So not minor sounding, it's Phrygian, it's a different color. So that's, in my mind, I think that is what this kind of sounds like. And then right after the F5, it comes to a G5. So nothing too crazy here, but the B flat tritone and then the F there are a little kind of strange. And like I said, you can think of the B flat kind of as the tritone, and then the F kind of bringing us into the Phrygian flavor for a little bit. Now, each one of these measures has the same rhythm, and it's that rhythm from the 16th note part that we talked about a second ago. So once you have the C5 chord down here, I'm actually going to use my index finger on the 8th fret here of the low E, And we're not playing the chord just yet, actually. So we're just going to have this finger down here, and it's going to be palm muted, and it's going to go down, up, 1 E and up. So 1 E and up, and then it's going to hit the 10th fret on the A and the D, which is what you expect from the power chord, but we're not playing the whole power chord. We're only playing those 2 strings. I am personally going to bar this, though, with my ring finger to make my life easy, and I'm going to do a down pick and hit a little harder. And that's going to last for an 8th note on beat 2, so similar to the other rhythm. So after that, we come back to the 8th fret here for the anda on beat 2, so down, up. And then it's going to go 3 E anda, down, up, down, up, down, up. So 3 E and up. And then you're going to hit that little top part of the chord again, that 10th fret, with a down pick and really emphasize it. And it's an 8th note on beat 4. And then you're going to do another down, up on the low C here, or the 8th fret, with a down, up for the anda on beat 4. So to break it down, 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and like that. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Now, it's going to be exactly the same. Your hand's just going to come down a fret. So we're going to have the 8th fret here down to the 7th fret. So 7, 9, 9 with that ring. Not going to do this part yet, though, just the 7. So down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and then same exact thing, just down a fret, 6th fret and the 8th fret there. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and then once again another fret down on the 5th and 7th respectively. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and then we come down to the F all the way down here at the 1st fret. So we're going to jump down now. So we're not just coming down a fret, we're jumping all the way down to the 1st fret. And that's going to be 1st fret, 3rd fret there. So down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and then we're going to jump over 2 frets to the 3rd fret, 3 and 5 respectively. And this is interesting because we're not going to play the whole measure with this chord, only the first half or so. And so that's going to go down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Then you're going to immediately shift over to the 6th fret and 8th fret respectively and go down, up, down, up, down, down, up like that. So that last measure there is probably the trickiest. So 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and just take your time with that, nice and slow. Okay, I'm going to play all of that without stopping at a moderately slower tempo. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and the hardest part about this riff is the picking when you're up to tempo. So it's very tricky. It's very easy to pick that wrong or miss one of the notes, etc. when you're picking that fast. So just practice it slow until you can, get to speed. So that's tricky at that speed. So just take your time, nice and slow, build your way up there. Now, after that, it's going to come back into the riff from before, the same thing. And then it does it again. And then again. Now, the fourth time is very interesting because it goes into 2/4 for just a measure. So the majority of the song is in 4/4 time, which is the most common tempo in music. So it very briefly goes to 2/4 for just one measure to play the first half of the first measure of the riff. Just that part there. So after that, instead of doing this, it's going to skip that part, come to a new measure after the 2/4, and come back to 4/4 time. And this part's not too bad. It's just a big C5 chord. I like to play the big massive one with the low G down here. And it rings out for 2 measures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you simply come to a fret down, same chord, but a different note, obviously. So we're coming from a C5 to a B5, and we're going to let this B5 also ring out for 2 measures. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So once again, 1 and 2, and but now 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's going to go into the next riff. So, as you can see, this is a pretty difficult riff, but it's also quite a bit of fun. So take your time with it, watch the video as many times as you need, practice it slow. And once again, my name is Adam, and I am available for private Zoom lessons. If you are interested, feel free to contact me, and my contact details are in the description.